mostly using computer. However, we don't want to over-rely on technology, so whenever we are transiting confined waters, narrow channels, and docking, undocking, then we operate manually. And for transit through the channels, we utilize hand steering, and then the wheel comes in play.
Okay, over in the middle.
Thank you. Richard, Pennsylvania. Sir, 2 questions. Do you have any input into your assigned ship? And is there a vast difference in the captaincies between, say, a Vision class and this ship?
We have no saying whatsoever when it comes to the ship we work on or the class. This call is entirely made by head office, and we truly don't know based on what. We get assignment and we have to take it and go for it. Of course, they look into skill set, experience in different environment, different class of ships, and I guess they make a call based on those criteria and some others that are not known to us. And in terms of being captain on this ship compared to perhaps Vision class, it's total different propulsion system, so you need to be experienced with a podded ship maneuvering characteristics, and you need to take the training for that. So you cannot just go straight to the podded ship without prior taking training in the simulator. But most of us actually, I would say pretty much every captain and actually every single deputy staff captain before reaching captain role goes through all these different required trainings. So basically we are all qualified to take assignment on any type of ship. However, you know, experience and certain skill set, it's considered, I believe, when they make assignments around the fleet.
I am Olivia, and I am from Massachusetts in the USA.
She has something for the captain. She made this draw a month ago.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you for the cruise, thanks for the pools. Olivia, thank you. And Derek's, thank you guys.
Okay, over to your right, at the front.
Hi, my name is Zoran. I'm from New Jersey. I have 2 questions. One about the entertainment. I've seen Spectra and I've seen the rock show several times. I'd love to know who the artists are. Is there any kind of program available? You know, about their profiles?
About the entertainers that they perform in the shows? No, we do not have one. We had actually the shows, but we do not have any program that describe all the entertainers. But it's a good point. So actually we were talking about it not long time ago, actually yesterday, and we are requesting to create something like that. So
That'd be nice, even on your program, on your app, if nothing else.
yes, we are looking into do that and do it in the right way. So we need to work with Miami office in order to put something together. So thank you, and I'm glad you enjoy the shows.
And for the captain, can you talk a little about the near future of the ship, dry dock and transition?
For the Anthem, yes. On April 12, we'll set sail on transatlantic crossing cruise headed to Europe. We'll be stopping Azores and Ireland, Cork, also France, on the way to Southampton. And then once we disembark us in Southampton, we'll head to Brest in France for 19 days dry docking. And we are going to do lots of refurbishing work around the ship. So she's going to look much prettier after dry dock, and we'll take opportunity to, put the ship high and dry and do maintenance on the underwater part, to do maintenance on the propulsion system, stabilizers, the thrusters, also diesel engines, and all this major maintenance job that cannot be done in service is going to be taking place. And then after dry dock, we are going to be staying in Europe for the entire summer, sailing out of Southampton down to Mediterranean. From Southampton. Pardon? No, I wish. We don't go to Eastern Mediterranean, only Western part. There's no time for us to make it back to Southampton within reasonable time frame, which is anywhere between 9 to 12 days. We have different cruises. So they don't want to obviously make too long cruises, because then we don't sell the ship. Not many people can afford that much time, right? So this is usually the window we play with, anywhere between, when we sail out to Southampton, between 9 to 12 days. And in November we'll be repositioning back to Bayonne, and then winter out of Bayonne as per standard routine or previous year routine, and then moving forward, that's going to be our schedule for some time. We don't know for how long, but that's what they are looking into.
Okay, let us know where you are, Sylvia.
Hi, I'm Charlie Bruno from Pennsylvania. I'm a power plant operator, so I have the natural curiosity on what engines you use, generators and fuel types.
We do have 4 engines, all of them are Wärtsilä. There are 2 of them 18 megawatts, all V-shaped engines. Two of them 80 megawatts, 16 cylinders, and 2 of them 14 megawatts, 12 cylinders. And then so basically together 64 megawatt of output, or around 97,000 horsepower that we can produce. A big portion of this going to for propulsion, about 40 plus megawatts, because we have two azipods that are 20.5 megawatt each. And we use heavy fuel, but we do have exhaust gas cleaning units on all our stacks. So when we are outside of ECA zones, environmental control areas, we are using those up to 0.5%. And when we are inside, like right now, then we are cleaning our exhaust up to 0.1% of sulfur. Also, we have enough amount of compliant fuel, marine gas oil on board, in case that we have to switch over, then we can change configuration and switch over to fully compliant fuel.
Okay, over at the starboard side, right at the back to your right. Hello.
This is the second year that we've been on your cruise ship, this particular ship. We like it very, very much. The first time, the disappointment for me was that this time you had the same shows again. And I was surprised at that. So when do you change your shows?
Okay, well, we invite you. We have so many ships around the world, so you can try another itinerary. We have a lot of different shows coming up, and in other ships as well. When you come back to the same ship, you will see the same show at least for 10 years, unless the itinerary of the ship change, and we need to change it due to demographic. So the shows, they cost millions and millions of dollars to be produced, and the shows like the ones we have here, they cost lots of millions of dollars. So if you come back to the same ship, you will find the same shows, but please go ahead. We have over 20 different ships. You can go around the world, and all the shows are great. Thank you.
Just to elaborate more, to make it easier for you to understand what it takes to install a new show, in terms of setting up a backstage, it would require us to go to dry dock, to cut open the hole on the ship side and take stage out and bring in the new stage. So it cannot be done so easily.
Hi, you're here, Birdside.
Hello, my name is Demita. I'm from Staten Island. This is my first cruise. It's a beautiful ship. But I have a question. Last night it was pretty scary. I was like, why is the ship to the right for a long time? And I'm like, is it the wind or it was just scary?
It happens on the first cruise.
I have no recollection of any such. Perhaps you should take it easy on the booze, huh? No? No, we did run into somewhat adverse weather, nothing big, nothing major, but in this area south of Cape Hatteras, when you're heading north with the Gulf Stream, so lots of current, it's being pushed, lots of water being pushed up north with the Gulf Stream, and when you have a weather fighting the current, northerly weather, the winds and waves, and then when these two forces meet, every so often you run into a larger wave than you could expect running into and based on given weather condition. And this what happened earlier this morning around 3 to 4 o'clock. During this time frame we hit 3 or 4 of those that are much larger than what the weather was really producing.
What would it take for the ship to... No, really, I need to know.
The ship didn't really list at that time, but what would take to the ship to list to the extent where we cannot recover, that's impossible to take place. We can sustain the list of 45 degrees, and we still retain enough reserve stability to bring the ship back. And 45 degrees is, yeah,
Good information.
unlikely to take place.
Thank you. Okay, in the middle to your right, starboard side, over here.
Hi, I'm Sharon from upstate New York, and this is our 8th time on the Anthem, and each time we've enjoyed it very, very much, and we think the captain and all his crew are doing a fantastic job each time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, right here in front of you.
Andrews from southern New Jersey. Mercedes, you do beautifully choosing your wardrobe. Do you buy that yourself or you purchase it yourself?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Well, you do a wonderful job.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Over in the middle to your right.
Hi, Mark from New Hampshire. You had mentioned the repositioning of ships, how Anthem's going overseas. I heard the Oasis is going to come up to Bayonne for a little bit. Is there a reason behind that? Are you just trying to show, and you had mentioned the shows that run maybe for 10 years or so. Is that to give the public a different look, or is there...
Part of the reason, main reason is that we are due for a 5-year dry docking. So we have certain jobs that are due to take place in terms of maintenance every 5 years. And in order for us to accomplish this task, we need to put the ship high and dry. And the company decided to do this in Europe. It could be done in the US as well. But they decided to move this ship away from this market for a while and to cover this run with a different class, to offer different shows, to offer a different, product. So to break it sort of for some time, so something more fresh to the market. And then us would be returning, as I mentioned already, for a winter time. So.
Okay, right here in front of you.
My first time on the Anthem. I was just wondering, I'm Danielle from Raleigh, North Carolina, and I just wondered what you do with ships that are retired. What do they do with the ships that you retire?
They become scrap metal. Yeah, truly. We as a company, we don't keep the ships in service for that kind of time where they would reach this condition where they're not of use anymore for main purpose. But what we do here as a company, we try to keep the ships in best possible shape. And within, I would say, 15, 20 years of age, we try to, give them away or sell them to other cruise lines, and because we keep building new ones. That's our philosophy, our approach. When they become too expensive as far as upkeep, then we eventually let them go. So that's our approach. So we don't have any old ships in our fleet. But some other cruise lines, they have ships that are 50, 60 years of age, and they are still out there serving the purpose, but they become, with the age, they become bigger problem in terms of maintenance, and eventually after 60 years, pretty much they all end up going to yard, and they are cut in pieces and go to scrap metal.
In the center to your right.
And reborn to new ships.
Just a quickie on the wardrobe. Do you get an allowance? And maybe you should if you don't.
I know you can put it over there, but no, I do not. I just buy it with the salary I get. Thank you.
Hello, right here in front of you. Phyllis, Syracuse, New York. How much food waste do you have per trip, and what do you do with it? And how much plastic diapers and stuff like that, and what do you do with that?
Good question. So for the food waste, we do have different streams in which we segregate our food waste and dry waste and dry garbage. We do have an advanced water treatment plant where we have all our sewage waters treated, the black waters, the grey waters from the sink, from the showers. I'm just giving you a quick version. If not, Chief Engineer could give you the longer version, but so we do have one of the state-of-the-art, and we are reckoned, and we have won a lot of awards for ensuring that our environmental policies are followed. We go above and beyond in ensuring that we process all of them. As a matter of fact, we also aim for zero landfills around the world where our ships operate from, wherever it is possible. And from the diapers and the plastics and all, we do have a very advanced incinerator room where we are able to combust these items and generate that into clean energy, reutilize that energy, and ensure that the pollutants are, when they're released into as effluent water into the waste system streams, that they are very, very way above and beyond and what is required by the international regulations. Chief, did I miss something?
Absolutely fantastic.
Okay, down at the to your right, starboard side, in the front.
Hi, I'm Lane. I'm from Texas. Since you guys are here right now, who is steering the ship?
That's a tough one. That's Captain.
The answer is you don't want to know. I'm kidding. The way the system works as far as bridge operation, we have 6 licensed deck officers, well trained for that particular task to run the bridge operation on my behalf. 2 of them work together. So any given moment we have minimum manning of 2 licensed officers, one of them being first officer and the other one second officer. Together with one lookout, so they make a team of 3 and they take care of business throughout the day. We have 3 teams and they split the day in, each team does 2 shifts of 4 hours. So they cover 24 hours window. The bridge is not only the place from where we navigate the ship, but is also the safety center. We have different important safety installation all around the ship that is remotely controlled from the bridge for a very good reason for our efficient response to any emergency that potentially can take place on board. And it can be either fire or medical emergency or water intake due to collision or grounding, whatever it might be. So we have a fire detection system, ventilation system, fire doors, watertight doors. All these systems are remotely controlled from the bridge. And this is why we have minimum manning of 2 officers, one of them being in charge of navigation and the other one is overseeing the safety aspect of the operation. We also answer 911 calls from the bridge. However, whenever we run into any difficult situation, it can be weather related, visibility issues perhaps, or rough seas, or it can be traffic related, or whenever we are taking the ship in and out of port through confined waters and docking and unlocking, then we have senior team on the bridge as well, which consists of myself, my deputy staff captain, and also chief officer. So lots of people working to it.
Right here in front of you.
I'm a little curious, the difference in height between the Anthem and the Oasis. We've been on this ship a lot, and we really like the mega ship, and we're happy that it's coming to Bayonne, but I got a little nervous about it going under the bridge. So what's the difference in height?
In height, in about 4 meters difference. So in order to accommodate Oasis arrival, the New York port is about to start taking that bridge down. I'm kidding. She would fit under the bridge, even with the existing in height and air draft. However, the clearance would be rather minimum, and something we can't really safely, put in place and follow. So, in order for us to achieve enough safe margin, enough clearance transiting under the bridge, the stacks on the Oasis will be lowered every time they go in and out. And we can do the same even on this ship, but there is no need for us because we are not that high.
Okay, towards your right, towards the back. Hi, just towards the center.
Hello, my name's Helen Wolf. I'm from Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. I was on this ship back in June, and I want to commend you on your response for the gentleman that had a medical emergency and brought in a helicopter to take him out. That's one thing. The other thing is, when you're in dry dock for 5 years, do you all stay home for those 5 years, or do you get to go to another ship?
No, we are not in dry dock for 5 years. We go to dry dock every 5 years.
Oh, every 5 years.
And then we stay in dry dock. Depends on the scope of dry dock work, but anywhere between 10 up to 1 month. From 10 days up to 1 month usually. Depends on how much work is scheduled to be done. And during this time we stay on board and we work. We work, supervising work, doing all kinds of jobs in preparation for work, cleaning up, removing materials, and everybody works.
The captain has a party, he invites all of us to celebrate with him.
Hey, right here in front of you.
Hi, I'm Alex from the United Kingdom, London. The question is about docking at port. So which is the most challenging port that you've ever docked at, and why?
There is many ports that are quite a challenge for us given the size of the ship. And that's something that we are facing lately in the cruise industry because the ships are growing bigger and bigger and the ports, they remain the same size. And that creates quite a bit of challenge. We are equipped, these modern ships, they are equipped with excellent technology in terms of us maneuvering confined and waters and shallow and narrow channels, docking, undocking, and everything goes well as long as there is no too much wind that we are facing, and the wind becomes a bigger problem for us because the body of the ship, the windage area across, it's enormous. And when we start taking the wind directly on a beam, we go sideways, we set so quickly, so much, and before you know it, you are left with no safety margin, no matter how big or small the port is. And this is our biggest concern, and quite often, not too often, but every so often, we are just not able to transit narrow channels and bring the ship in port, in and out, because of wind effect.
Okay, all the way to your right, starboard, right up on the stairs.
Hi, I'm Bill from New Jersey. It's unbelievable to watch you guys go into these tight ports and things. As a pilot, I know with the wind and things, how things work against you or for you. But for you, I know when we go to training, we do our training every 6 months in simulators and things. I know Marine safety, I think there's something similar. that you guys do. You were just discussing the tight places you have to go in and out of every voyage or trip that people probably take for granted like they do when we do things. But it's so interesting. The other question is, how often do you have to do that type of training where you, I'm sure you go through the simulator process? And a very other easy question, the range on the ship, because you do these transatlantic trips.
Yes, thank you for the question and your input. Yes, we do go through training in simulator primarily before we are assigned a new class. So in order to get familiar with new technology, a new ship, we take some training in the simulator. There's no policy on it as far as how often we repeat the training, but the common approach is that before we move from class to class, and whenever we are subject to start working on different equipment, we do take training. So to get fully familiar and you know, to get a feel for the ship and the equipment. As far as doing transatlantic or ocean cruises, you know, in terms of fuel and how long we can run, we can, with a full load, here we can load up to 3,300 tons of fuel. So we can easily go, economic speed, we can go 3-4 weeks easily.
Okay, port side, on the way down to your left-hand side, near to the bar.
Good afternoon, my name is Stu Rubin, I'm from New York. I've been in the Marine Corps for 22 years, retired. And on behalf of all the veterans on this ship, I want to thank you for the recognition that you do give us veterans. It's very well appreciated.
Thank you.
Okay, on the way to your right, just in the end section, just here.
Hi, I'm Sonia, another person from New Jersey. Lots of New Jersey here. I have a lighter vein question. Love Oasis. Beyond climate considerations, what determines what ports Oasis visits when it sails from Bayonne?
Her size.
Thank you.
Her size. Yeah, that's the limiting factor. You know, for instance, she cannot go to Bermuda because she's too deep. They would have to do dredging on the channel to accommodate her arrival. So Bermuda is no-go. Canadian ports are also no-go because she's too big for tendering, and also too wide to transit some of the channels up on that run. So I guess we are left with Florida and Bahamas and Caribbean, right? So she can go to all ports in Caribbean except for Antigua right now. Pardon?
So is it a matter of time to get back to Bayonne?
Well, of course, depends how long the cruise should be, or the company is planning to offer, based on, you know, different criteria, and mainly if they are able to book the ship, right? We quite often offer longer cruises, and lots of people love it, but then we end up sailing rather with low count, I guess, because many people work and they cannot afford to take a break for such a long time. So it's, you know, yeah. So they have to find a balance, you know, to offer a variety of cruises and port of calls, but still to make sure that ship makes business. Yeah, we cannot sell empty, right?
Okay, we have